Hi guys, and welcome to the Batch Lady, where I show you how to make fast, simple homemade meals that you can make in advance, put in your freezer and use whenever you want. Now, I have had tons of people get in touch and keep asking me about pots. Big pots. What big pots do you use? A lot of people don't have huge big pots, and if you're going to be batch cooking, you probably need at least one, okay? Because it's much easier than trying to divide everything into a couple of pots. So I just want to explain to you basically the best ones out there, from the most expensive to the cheapest, and reasons why I would buy a pot and the best ones to get if you're batch cooking. So in front of me, I have three huge pots. This one's a 15 litre, a 10 litre, and a 5 litre. What I would say to you is if you're going to get started in batch cooking, then a 10 litre pot is probably a perfect one. A little 10 and a 5 litre one would be absolutely perfect, okay? These stainless steel ones are the best. This is what you really want to get, a sort of non-stick stainless steel. You want one that is going to go from the oven or the top of the hob to the oven and come back up again. So you want to make sure that you've measured your oven before you go to buy one, because the problem often is the handles, okay? The handles add that extra sort of bit to it, and the top handle as well. So you want to measure your oven and make sure that if you take your racks out, you could still get it in. So if you're doing something on the stove and it requires to be put in the oven, you can actually put it in the oven as well. And then it just means it's multifunctional. So what you don't want is, for example, I have some Circulon pans here, which I love, and I've, like, probably everybody got them for my wedding present sort of, 15 years ago and still using. The problem is with these is the pans are fantastic, but this bit can't go in the oven. So if you're doing sort of, I don't know, say an omelette or you're making something that you then want to brown the top of, I have to leave the oven door open and it's sort of hanging out. So if I was to buy these again, I'd get the Circulon ones that you could put the handle in the oven, or even better, the handle comes off and then you put it in the oven and you clip the handle off. They work very well, okay? So I do like Circulon non-stick pans. I also, of course, being the batch lady, I love a pan that can go in the dishwasher, which is always good as well. So check and see if it's dishwasher safe. Usually on the back of these pans, not on this one, I think on the IKEA ones, it will tell you here in tiny minute writing whether it can go in the dishwasher, the freezer, the fridge, whether it could be on the hob, or whether you can put it in the oven. So it gives you little symbols on the bottom, okay? So basically I would say ignore this really big one unless you're doing lots and lots of batch cooking. A 10 litre is probably going to suffice you well. Now, where to buy these, okay? What I would say is IKEA at the moment, oh, sorry about that. IKEA are doing a good range of these pots, okay? This sort of one. This one is, sorry, the IKEA ones come in a 3, 5 and a 10 litre, and they're sort of ranging from about £10 to £40 for your biggest one, which is a good price actually. They're not as non-stick as some of the other more quality ones, so if you do burn something in the pan, you're going to have to leave it steep and then give it a good scrub with a sort of little Brillo brush. This one here is from the Swiss Chef. Now, my mother-in-law gave this to me years and years and years ago. It probably costs about £70, which is expensive for a pot, but I've probably had it for 15 years and it looks pretty much brand new. It cleans really well, nothing really sticks to it. So this is a great one. This one here came from a local shop and it's Masterclass, and it's another good one. Okay, I wanted it because it's slightly bigger and can just fit a bit more in. What I do want to show you though is a top tip if you're buying a good stock pot, and that's what they're called if you're looking for them online. They're called stock pots. Is this one, sometimes if I go to put it in the Aga or my oven, this bit here with the extra lidded handle is too big, it's too high. I like a pan that you can turn the top over. Now this one works quite well, but something like this one works really well. It's got a little rim on it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's an indent, so the top of the pan here is higher than this little bit. It means that I can turn it over and it sits relatively flush and seals the edge of the pan. And then I can put it in my oven without having to worry about that big top bit. So that's one of my top tips. The IKEA ones do them as well. They fold over great. Okay, this one not so much. This is a rounded top, so I would tend to say go for this sort of bevelly shaped top, okay? What else do I need to tell you about pots? I would say this is one thing that the more money you spend, the better the pot. But all I would say is make sure it's stainless steel non-stick. You do not need a fancy pot unless you happen to have one of those halogen, I always call it halogen, but that's probably the wrong word, one of those fancy hobs that you have to use a specialist pot. If not, I would probably get myself to IKEA and buy a few of these. These have stood me in good stead. If you really want to go all out, I would probably buy one of these slightly more expensive ones. But like I say, you'll never get rid of them and you'll have them for years. I hope that has helped you decide on your stock pot, and happy batching. Take care, bye.